Fold doesn't have me fooled.
You're so good.
I know. That's why I'm here right now.
So good.
You know, I wish players would act faster too, but I'm not sure Tiffany's tableside manner makes them want to follow her instructions.
Greg Marquis with ace 7 of hearts. Blinds are up to 50 and 100,000.
1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000.
Marquis doesn't want to make any rash moves. He will just keep his own normal pace. And he will raise it to 280,000.
He was rather slow assembling those chips.
Elon Schwartz with pocket eights. Reaching for chips. The orange are worth 5,000, the green 25,000, the lavender 100,000. He puts together 280,000 for the call. Snead folds. Action around to Tiffany Michelle with pocket jacks.
Took 1 second less, so I'm going to re-raise.
You know, that type of comment does not endear you to the table.
Tiffany does re-raise to 900,000. Montgomery folds. Tim Lockey gets out of the way. Action back to Marquis.
Ace 7 suited shrinks with the call and raise behind him.
And Marquis wastes little time folding. Back to Schwartz.
How much do you have left? How much do you have left, Tiffany?
Elon wants a count.
Wow, you're asked how much you have left, and you just swirl a finger around your chips. This is not a friendly neighborhood.
Schwartz makes the call.
These folks are going to need group therapy. I don't think table 2 is going to be having a neighborhood block party.
Jacks against eights. And there is an 8. Schwartz hits a set to take the lead.
All in.
And he pushes all in.
Well, it's all bad news for Tiffany. She doesn't have a queen. She doesn't even have a club.
And she certainly doesn't have a set. Plenty of reasons for Tiffany Michelle to be worried about that flop. And Michelle will give it up.
She folds without further comment, to her credit.
And gives up almost 1 million chips to Elon.
That's enough.
Nice hand, dude.
Perhaps Tiffany should try counting to 10 slowly and regroup, as this last push for the final table is not going her way. Back at the Rio, only 23 players remain. On the E-Trade financial chip count, you see Dennis Phillips is still top dog. Joe Bishop has moved up this session. Chino Reem holding steady at 7.3 million. One person who's fallen out of the top 10 is Tiffany Michelle, right? Who seems to be concerned with a different kind of chip.
You can't eat fries with your fingers at the poker table. You get grease all over your hands and then grease all over the cards.
Not to mention how disgusting, like, the chips. Like, I've been touching these. You don't know where my hands have been at.
That's what a fork is for.
What?
Silverware. Just a suggestion. They invented it a while ago.
Looks like it's now a mob mentality against Tiffany, but I agree with Scott Montgomery about the fork.
Personally, we wouldn't eat anything with our hands while playing poker because...
I guess I'm a lot more daring than all of you boys.
You are. You are. I mean, I already got sick.
The fork, I'm told, predates chopsticks. Who knew?
I don't eat with my hands.
As a preteen, Tiffany was on the beauty pageant circuit, winning several titles, including Congeniality Awards. I don't think any of these guys will give her that vote tonight. Tiffany did raise it to 300,000 with ace 9. Marquis has pocket queens.
Action.
Marquis started playing poker in January 2007. He went to a New Year's Eve party at online phenom David Benefield's house and realized how much money Benefield was making playing cards.
And he calls, and he'll go heads up against the ace 9 of Tiffany Michelle. Flop, jack, jack 5. Marquis and his queens are still best.
I tell you, if she just raised the brim of the baseball cap just a little, maybe she could see the flop.
She checks. Marquis checks behind her. Turn card, and there's that ace. Tiffany Michelle takes the lead. She checks it.
That ace, always a scare card, Lon. I'm scared, and I'm not even in the hand.
They both check. River card now. 8 of diamonds. Tiffany Michelle with the check mark with a pair of aces, and she checks again.
Will you check again?
Marquis played this hand badly. Probably could have taken down the pot with a bet on the flop.
Tester bet here of 200,000.
That is a small bet.
A raise from Michelle to 500,000.
My, that's interesting.
It is a small raise. Just 300,000 more for Marquis to win a pot of 1.5 million.
I gave you odds. It's not that hard, buddy.
Tiffany seems a little too self-satisfied there.
Begging for a call, but Marquis folds it.
Nice hand.
Tiffany takes the small pot.
Thanks to the French fries. Powered by French fries.
Back to the feature table now, where Brandon Cantu has not been very active, but he's still on everybody's mind.
So where you from originally anyway? They're Brandon, where you from?
Vancouver, Washington.
Where?
Big hockey guy?
Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, Washington. I thought you said Canada. I just heard Vancouver. I stopped paying attention.
What, you can't be a big hockey guy from Vancouver, Washington?
Joe Bishop on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam. Queen 6, and he folds. Over to the 22-year-old pro from Denmark, Peter Eastgate, 10-9 of spades.
And Eastgate now the youngest player remaining.
He raises to 300,000. Cantu folds again. Action on Ivan Demidov from Russia in the small blind. Ace-queen offsuit.
Demidov is 27. We have 23 players remaining. 15 of them are in their 20s. Lon, we are officially beyond old.
A call from the small blind. Chris Klodnicki folds his big blind, so Demidov and Eastgate will be heads up. The flop is ace-7 deuce, a pair of aces for Demidov.
The main event is a grind. It really is a young man's game.
Demidov checks. Eastgate now bluffs at it with 450,000.
Eastgate with the continuation bet, also known as take more of my chips.
Ivan, usually a more freewheeling player, told us he's tightened up as he got deep in this tournament, and he just calls. Turn card 10 of clubs. Pair of 10s now for Eastgate, but he's still behind. Demidov checks.
Don't know why Demidov's checking.
Eastgate checks. Deuce of clubs pairs the board. 3 clubs out there, but Demidov has the check mark with aces up. Demidov no longer checking. He will bet 650,000.
He puts out a value bet. Eastgate would need, 650,000, as you said, to try to win a pot of 2.3 million.
Eastgate paired his 10 on the turn. And now he's going to raise it to 1.9 million.
Eastgate gets frisky. Demidov wanted a call, he got a raise, and now he's all turned around.
The 3 clubs on board helping Eastgate's case.
I can't beat anything if I call. I can only beat a bluff.
It's a bluff, Ivan. It's a bluff. It's a bluff. It's a bluff. It's a bluff. It's a bluff.
He needs $1.25 million to call.
I should be punished for playing it so bad. So I guess I have to call. I call.
Demidov calls.
And Eastgate knows he's been picked off.
A $5.5 million chip pot for Demidov. Even facing that big raise, Ivan's gut steered him in the right direction for the call. That is the planter's good instinct moment.
Nice read, nice call, nice pot.
A player's main event path can lead him in so many dangerous directions. Demidov's internal compass helped him make the correct choice there.
Planters Good Instinct Moment is brought to you by Planters. Instinctively good. The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event.
Back at the Rio, Tim Lockie is pacing because he's all in with a pair of 6s. Montgomery was the original raiser with ace-jack. Schwartz called Lockie's all in, and then Montgomery called as well.
Lockie with the best hand, but 2 bounty hunters on his heels.
Love you guys.
Montgomery checks dark. Here's the flop now. 10 deuce ace. Lockie got no help there. Montgomery leads now with a pair of aces.
And Tim Lockie 1 step closer to the door.
Montgomery had already checked. Elon Schwartz now checks. A tray on the turn. Schwartz now with a set to take the lead.
Montgomery is going to wish he had bet the flop instead of just checking it down.
Montgomery suddenly drawing dead. He checks.
And if Schwartz can bet here, and he should,